Come in peace. We come in peace. We come in peace. We come in peace.
They came in peace.
We come in peace. We come in peace.
Groovy. Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Knife Party Podcast, where we leave it all on the cutting room floor. I come in peace as your illustrious host, Zach Evergreen, and I'm logging onto the Discords right now. We'll see if anyone's going to join us on today's lovely show. And yeah. So, I have some cool notes about, of course, today's film is Tim Burton's masterpiece, Mars Attacks. It is, wow, I haven't seen this in a while, and I'm really glad I rewatched it. I probably haven't seen this since, I want to say, like 97, or, no, not 97, like, probably like 2001, maybe? I don't know, I had this on VHS, and so I haven't seen this actually since I had it on VHS, so it's been a while. I mean, I used to watch this movie a lot, though. It was, because you know when you had a movie back in the day, right? You would watch the shit out of it, especially if you had it on tape, because you know you could just throw it on or whatever. And the cool thing about tapes too that I do miss is how you could eject a tape and you didn't lose your place. So it was kind of fun sometimes when you would be going through, like, you would throw in a tape and you're like, oh, Ninja Turtles. And then you're like, it's not rewound. I wonder where I left off. You know, it was always kind of a neat little experiment for one to do. So I have some funsies facts about this movie. And yeah. So before I get into like really reviewing it. So a lot of people think that when this came out that it was a spoof or a parody of ID4, which is actually not true. It was anyone who knows anything about anything will tell you that this movie is based off Topps cards that came out in the 50s. I want to say 52. And I remember because my Uncle Jack had them. Jonathan's dad, believe it or not. Jonathan Fallen of Hoodcast AF, of course. Go follow them. Oh, shit. I should probably start with paying some bills, right? Yeah. Okay, so Knife Party is brought to you by you, the Patreons. You go to Knife Party Pod, or sorry, at Patriot. I cannot talk right now. www.patreon.com/knifepartypod, and there you can sign up for our Patreon. It's only $1 to sign up, and you get all episodes early and often. We have plenty of shows on there for only $1. You get 3 shows, right? Also, we have our $5 tier, which is shelf shows or shows that are deemed too inappropriate, not safe for work, etc. And then or old slime wreck radios, stuff like that. And then $20. That's the I'll Stop the Bike. At that level, you get to actually request episodes that I will review, and furthermore, you get to be on the show. So right now we're kicking it live on our Discord, and any member of that level could just drop in and go, holy shit, I'm on the show. And I'm like, yeah, you're on the show, buddy. There you go. That's how it works. Yeah. Oh, also too, the $20 level, we have sweet merchandise. I just spent a lot of money on some really cool kick-ass water tumblers. So they're not Stanleys. They weren't that expensive, but they're pretty expensive. Our customized ones ran about $36 a pop. So there you go. Anyway, those will be on their way. If you didn't get your allocation in, or if you want one of those cups, you better get in now. So that allocation is going to be sent out in September. So any members that are $20 members now, get in. and I didn't order too many of them. So, that's like, this is a sense of urgency thing. You want a cool night party tumbler? Boom, there you go. And of course, yeah. Anyway, that's. Wait a minute. I know I'm missing one other. Oh yeah. Caps and Cork on the borderlands of Vallejo and American Canyon, California. There at Caps and Cork, they'll have all your adult beverage needs, which I've had too many of recently, so I am drying out. I had I think about half a glass of wine a day, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not feeling it. So yeah, I'm a little foggy. I did one of those things last night where, have you ever gone, and I know everyone has done this, where you go down like a YouTube rabbit hole where you just go clicking on a video and for whatever in another video. And I went through that rabbit hole and I was like, holy shit, it's like almost 5 a.m. And I don't even know how I did that. It's rare of me. I really like sleep. And I don't know, but yeah, so I was up pretty late, and then I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I need to get to bed. And then I woke up, of course, at around like 11:30, pounding headache. I'm like, fuck, man, I didn't get enough sleep. I didn't drink enough water. Definitely drank too much booze. Didn't eat enough yesterday. So, and I watched a shit tons of movies on my past days off. So I did watch Casino with my wife. Love that fucking movie. And then I watched Deadpool. And because we were going to go see Wolverine vs. Deadpool, however, my wife got sick, and so we didn't want to be coughing in a movie theater. That's not a good look. It's pretty fucking rude. And then also I watched Mars Attacks, which was our pick for Nikki's birthday month. So we're doing a birthday month of his pickings, and so we're doing Mars Attacks. But then we have something special. We have a Stop the Bite going on. Next week, we are going to have both Antonius and Jeff the Tech in, and we're going to be talking motherfucking Tombstone. God, what an ensemble cast. I mean, that was the who's who of the 90s, right? This has an ensemble cast, too. Big fan of Mars Attacks, of course. We got Jack Nicholson playing 2 roles. We also have Danny DeVito, which means we have the Penguin and the Joker in the same movie by the same director. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. We have Michael J. Fox. This is pre-Shaky Jeans. We have Sarah Jessica Parker, who I totally forgot was in this movie. And yeah, I don't know about Sarah Jessica Parker. Maybe it's like I hate her character in Sex in the City so much that's probably because everyone knows you just watch it for Charlotte, right? So, but anyway, you have James Bond himself, my James Bond anyway, Pierce Brosnan, who is fucking fabulous in this movie. He's hilarious, and his outfits are the coolest too. Like all of his suits and shit in there, they're smashing. Let's see who else. We have Natalie Portman, and she's like, I don't know, she's just like a snide, cynical teenager. She's pretty cool though. We have Jack Black, who is a piece of shit in real life, and he dies in this, and I was happy when he died, and I don't like Jack Black at all. I think he's annoying. And who else do we have? Oh, God, there's so many. I know I'm skipping over some. Martin Short, of course, is the press secretary who has an aversion to hookers, which is great. And I'm going off the top of my head, too, by the way. I didn't write down who's in everything in this. So, but anyway, yeah, so that's what we got going on right there with our cast. Some other fun facts. Oh, you know what? I should probably hit some music. And today's music is brought to you by... The Cemetery Surfers, damn right. Why? I don't know, just because. Sometimes I don't really feel like playing Darkwave all the time. And sometimes it's cool to just, play some Cemetery Surfers. I don't know, it's good background music, right? Okay, so, some fun facts about this movie. Yeah, so when it was written, the script believe it or not, the person that originally started writing the script for this movie was the dude, I forgot his first name, but his last name is Cox, but you know him from Repo Man. He wrote and directed that. This was actually going to be tried to be made in the 80s. I think right either before or right after Repo Man. Probably right before. And it never got off the ground for whatever reason. I think TriStar picked it up for a second, and then they just like dropped the ball on it. So it didn't go anywhere. Nothing really happened with it. So there you go. The original script was finished by Jonathan Gems, right? But not before he was fired and then rehired. And believe it or not, he was fired because of the opening scene with the cows. In his original script, they were looking like an estimated $260 million, and they're like, you need to make this script smaller, more tight, blah blah blah. And because they wanted to shoot for a $60 million budget. There was originally 60 characters, and I think they ended up cutting out most of them, so now there's only 26. You know, and I'm not talking about like the one-off cameos, but I mean the characters that this movie actually focuses around. So there's 26 of them, but originally there was 60, so it was much bigger in scope. Also, there was more scenes, of course, of like Tokyo and you know, because really all you see in here is you see Big Ben get blown up, you see Las Vegas, you see DC, and then you see the Taj Mahal, and that's it. You know, but I was thinking about this. This movie actually, and we're gonna get in the whole volcano situation or boat movie situation. This actually has more scenes in it than Independence Day. And Independence Day I think they had around the same budget, I'm pretty sure, too. This might have even been bigger budget, I think. But anyway, that doesn't matter. But Independence Day, if you think about it, they have a lot of recycled sets. This has more sets than Independence Day does. I mean, there's the president, there's the war room, they show a lot of the White House, including the Lincoln Room, which, by the way, is like fucking one of the coolest scenes in the whole movie. We'll get to that in a second. They show like multiple bedrooms in there. They show like the Blue Room. Like it's for Independence Day. You just see the Oval Office. And that's it. And then they're on Air Force One, and then they're on Area 51. That's about it, right? And then they're in planes. This is like, not only do you have all those sets, you also have the old folks' home. You have the casino, which, you know, a couple of casinos. Because you have the Lexor, then you have the Galaxy Casino. Shit, you even have like the Desert set, the AA set, which is that little church. I mean, there's like tons of filming locations in this, and it's all really good, and with all the actors and everything else too. But anyway, so let's see. Oh yeah. ID4. So ID4 came out in July, and this came out in December. So they were 5 months apart, right? And they were both fucking alien disaster attack movies. And you know my theory. It's like someone makes a volcano movie. Damn it, another studio's making a volcano movie. So the curse that this one had, though, is that a lot of people thought that this was supposed to be a parody, if you will, of ID4, which is just not the case. This is not at all a parody, but because of the timing and everything else, you know, it was seen that way, and this was panned. This was smashed. ID4 did really good. This did not. This got a 56 on the Rotten Tomato scale. Audience gave it a 53. I don't even know how that's fucking possible. Yeah, apparently it did, like, people didn't like it. I don't know why. It's fucking funny. It's so culty. It's an instant cult movie. Like, when you watch it, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember why I like this movie, you know. And it's weird because it's one of those movies that, like, I swear it disappeared from my world, and then it just re-entered it recently. And it's just one of those things. You know, like, I mean, RoboCop, Terminator, Predator, all those movies, those are like always in my watch list, like yearly, right? But this one just fell off, and I don't know why. But yeah, anyway, it's back on my watch list again, and I'm really happy I took a look at it. So I think that this is criminally underrated scores. I'm going to give this a solid 85. This is like a perfect example of an 85, right? Why isn't it 90? Well, it's not Crow status, right? It's might be Tim Burton's best movie, but probably not my favorite Tim Burton movie. But I think it might be his best movie. Like, Batman's probably my favorite Tim Burton movie. It's so fucking good. I also have an affinity to Sweeney Todd. Just the noir of it is great. But this one as a whole, if you were to go, what's a good Tim Burton movie that really is just fucking Tim Burton? I'd go, Mars Attacks is a great example. Ensemble cast, great art direction. Of course, Danny Elfman reprises as the soundtrack guy to fucking Tim Burton. Now, I didn't know this because I thought that Tim Burton always had Danny Elfman, but apparently they got into it. They got into they got a little mad, a little heated at each other on the filming or recording rather of Nightmare Before Christmas, which I did not know. So during Ed Wood, that was like one of the only soundtracks that he was not on. That was a Tim Burton film. So there you go, a little fun fact. Also, Ed Wood was supposed to coincide with this movie because Ed Wood is about, like, Plan 9 from Outer Space and how terrible a movie that was. And so he was like, I'm going to do a real movie about I'm going to do like a fake mockumentary, but I'm also going to do this movie too to kind of like have them go back to back, which I thought was pretty cool. I saw Ed Wood once. Not really See, I'm not one of those guys that just watches everything Johnny Depp does and Tim Burton does and just loves it because, just to fan out about some people like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Johnny Depp is awesome, but, I'd rather watch, say, Secret Window. Oh, shit, that's a Stephen King movie. Oh, that might have to be in Stephen King's September. God, I love Secret Window. Fuck, okay. So that would be Misery, Carrie, Christine. Misery? No, hold on. Ah, shit. Fuck. Well, I'm definitely going to have to throw a Secret Window in there. Jesus Christ. Anyway. What the hell was I yammering on about? Oh, yeah. Anyway. So, this was panned. It bombed. It was so bad that Tim Burton actually went to India for a month to like decompress, and he almost quit making movies. Now, let me tell you this: had he would have quit, we wouldn't have got that god-awful Planet of the Apes. I think that was the next thing he did after that. And I think Planet of the Apes didn't do well either. I don't know. I don't really feel like watching that POS because that movie was not good. I'm actually going to look it up just for shits and giggles. But, Mark Wahlberg, he's always tired. He's breathy. I like Mark Wahlberg, don't get me wrong, but I'll take Boogie Nights over Planet of the Apes any day. Planet of the Apes. Let's see. Apes. Man, there's so many adaptations now, like all the new ones and shit. Apes. Which actually I like the new ones with like Caesar and all that shit. The one with Woody Harrelson was fucking amazing. Let's see. That's Rise. Is this it? 2001? Mark Wahlberg? Yeah, here we are. Tim Roth. Cool. Let's take a look. Just want to see. And of course, like, the trailer is Mark Wahlberg looking sweaty. Oh, wow. So this got 43 and 27. So, and this came out in 2021. So there might have been a movie I'm missing in between the two. But let's just say that, didn't look good for Tim Burton there for a minute. He had a couple of... What did he do between this and that then? Because that was a 5-year gaps. Because this came out in December of 06, so practically 97. And then 01 is when he did that. I don't know. Well, I'm sure I'm fucking... I know it, and I'm just glazing over it, too. But... Corpse Bride, maybe? Or maybe Corpse Bride was like after that. I think it was. Okay, anyway, let's get back to this movie. So The Martians were originally going to have subtitles, and then Tim Burton was like, absolutely fucking not. It's way more hilarious to have their inflection. And in fact, the Akk-akk wasn't even written into the script, how they were going to talk. That was actually done later for comedic purposes. However, their like barking and shit is actually quite scary. In fact, like this movie is like really pretty creepy. I mean, all the art design and shit, it's cheesy enough to make you realize it's like cheesy. However, like the design of these creatures were actually quite gruesome. In fact, the reason why Topps actually stopped making the cards, these trading cards, was because of how just dark they were. And apparently parents and school teachers were not a fan of these on the school playground, so they actually canceled them. In fact, Tim Burton actually, the way this actually got started, this whole idea of getting this, and Cox just having to bow out a couple of years earlier, is the person that wrote the script, Mr. Jonathan Gems, Gems, precious uncut gems. He was at an antique shop, and for a birthday present, he found like a whole complete set of not only the Mars attacks, but also Topps in I think 89 or 88. I think 88 had dinosaurs attack, and it was kind of like the same thing, where they were just like gruesome depictions of like craziness. And so he bought both complete sets and gave it to Tim Burton. Tim Burton like was he was like, whoa, these are really cool. How come no one's done a movie about this? Now they were going to do dinosaurs attack, but the fucking Spielberg was doing Lost World, the sequel to Jurassic Park 2. I don't know if I know he didn't direct it, but I think he produced it. Regardless, I fell off after number one. I mean, I've seen all of them, but I mean, really the only good one is number one, let's be honest. Like the last one was so bad I couldn't even watch it. I had to turn it off. And that's really sad because, I mean, you can't really fuck up a dinosaur movie. It's like fucking up a shark movie. There is no good shark movies besides Jaws, with a couple of sections here and there. But for the most part, it's like, giant dinosaurs fucking up shit. Pretty cool. Actually, you know what? I did like the Lost World a little bit. If that's the one where the T-Rex actually goes through the suburb at the end, that was actually kind of cool. I think that was number 2. Where, yeah, it escaped and it was kind of like I did like that quite a bit. Anyway, just that part though. The rest of them, and well, I liked everything that has, Jeff Goldblum. You know what? I take it back. Actually, I like Lost World. I think I do. I don't think it's that bad. It's not as good as number 1. That's for damn sure. But it's pretty entertaining. So anyway, yeah, they were going to do the dinosaurs attack, but then they found out about they don't want to be doing the. They don't want to do dinosaur movie versus dinosaur movie, and Jurassic Park already had a name. So they're like, okay, well, we'll do Mars Attacks. Little did they know that they were... ID4 was already in production. This movie was in production first, though, which is funny. I think Independence Day didn't take that long to like the script was written in a month. We covered a couple episodes back. Go listen to it. The script was written a bunch of times, and I think there was 5 or 6 rewrites before Gems was fired. They're like, look, take out the part with the flaming cows or you're fired. And so they fired him, and then they hired him back, which is pretty funny. Let's see, more fun facts. Lisa Marie, she's a babe. This was Tim Burton's ex-girlfriend at the time. She probably has the most iconic part. I mean, it's even on the cover, is she plays the beehive lady, as we like to call her. So she actually had to suffer. Now, I remember on celluloid, this looks so damn good, her costume. And on DVD, it holds up too. And but here's the thing, that's all practical shit. So she had not one but two wigs on, and the wigs were so damn heavy, and the way they stuck it to her, apparently like the glue or something like actually burned a hole in her head, and it's still there. It's a scar. You could see it. It's all right though. She's super fucking Sleepy Hollow. That's what it was. She was in fucking Sleepy Hollow, and that was the movie that Tim Burton did between this and Planet of the Apes. Go screw. Yes, awesome. And it had Johnny Depp in it. Fuck. There you see. I just answered my own question. I'm so glad I thought of it now and not later when I was listening to the replay of this. I would have been so fucking pissed. I'd have been like, dude, it was Sleepy Hollow, you idiot. You knew it was Sleepy Hollow, and I think Sleepy Hollow was 98 or 99. I want to say it was 98. I think it was Halloween 98. Sounds about right. That was good times. Anyway, where the fuck was I? Yeah, Lisa Marie. So anyway, not only did that beehive thing like fuck up her head and skin permanently, but also too she had to be sewn into that outfit, so like stitched into it. She couldn't take a break or use the bathroom, and it's kind of like Master of the Universe, like that costume, how cumbersome it was the same here. But I mean, the end effect is great. She looks beautiful in that thing, and creepy too. And like the whole Kennedy room, like that shot of her behind the aquarium is just iconic. That could have been and should have been probably the cover of the movie. If you ask me, because I think the cover of the movie actually gives away way too much. It's kind of like. It's a mad world picture. It reminds me of that kind of where it's, it kind of shows what's going to happen. Like you even show what's going to happen to, the dog and fucking Sarah Jessica Parker. Like they show it to you on the cover, which I hate when they do that. And they also show, anyway, I think it would be just a little bit less history, more mystery in a way. So there you go. Yeah, but anyway, Lisa Marie, fucking gorgeous in this movie. I love it. Let's see. Did I talk about that? Oh, yeah, as kind of a joke, Hail to the Chief was played whenever Jack Nicholson would actually come on set, which I think is kind of cool. And after the budget was spent on effects, which was more than half, they had, I think, $26 million left to play with. So they had to be very careful of who they paid and how much they paid. But people were willing to work really cheap because it was Tim Burton. And also, too, like, some of the parts, like Michael J. Fox doesn't really have that many scenes. I think he's got like 5 or 6 scenes, and that's it. He's got my favorite scene when he's watching his girlfriend on TV and he's like analyzing like how they're flirting with each other. It's kind of funny. That's like probably the funniest scene in the movie. But Jack Nicholson was actually paid the most. He was paid $100,000 a week, which for him was very cheap. But also too, this may have been returning a favor because he made so much money off Batman. Like so much money because he got a piece in the merchandising deal. So I think he got 10 million plus, like just tons of stuff on merch. And there was a joke that he was going to even play more characters. I don't know how the joke came up, but Jack Nicholson does a great job as playing not only the president, better than Bill Pullman too, I think. But also, he's just perfect as the sleazy casino investor guy, real estate guy. I don't know. I love him. His fucking character is great. Like, he's such a piece of shit. He's sitting, like, having drinks in front of his girlfriend who's in AA. Which is, like, you just don't do that. Like, if someone's in AA, you're just like, I probably shouldn't, drink around or in front of them. Now, it's one thing if you're like at a comedy club, but if it's just, or like at a concert or something, or at a party, but if it's just you and her sitting down alone, yeah, you should probably not like drink around her all the time. It's probably not good. Speaking of Vegas stuff, so Tom Jones is also in this movie. He's a fucking animal. I love Tom Jones. And he actually did all of his own singing. And also when they're performing, he's actually singing, right? And they said it was a lot of fun to film on set because all those drinks and stuff at his show, they're all real. So they actually were giving people like real booze, which is pretty fucking cool. And, I mean, think about it. You're on set and you get to like watch Tom Jones and drink and you're getting paid. It's pretty awesome. Love that. Tom Jones, of course, is a fucking superhero in this. He knows how to fly a plane. And, you know, he's like, do you know how to fly a plane? Of course I do. You know, I'm British. If I can do anything. It's pretty good. Great cameo. I do kind of like, I don't know. I like movies based around Vegas and things based around Vegas. Like we all know my obsession with like, you know, Fallout New Vegas is great and Casino is great. And, you know, Vegas is just awesome. I can't wait for the new Fallout TV show because I know it's going to be set in Vegas. And, but anyway, yeah, I do like the cheesiness of it because here's another thing too about this movie. This movie is pretty like timeless where, you know, even though it takes place in the 90s, it technically kind of like it borrows a lot of shit from like the 50s, the early or late 40s, early 50s B movies, right? So, but then when you have a place like Las Vegas where it always looks the same no matter what, like if you go there now, it looks the same. Yeah, like it's, of course, things are going to be more modern now, but I mean, for the most part, even some of the fucking machines are the same. You know, I mean, in this, I remember watching the machines in the background. I'm like, I played that. That one will steal your money. I played that. So, you know, anyway. Dude, all the camp. Oh, fuck. I forgot Pam Grier is in here, too. Jackie Brown herself. So good. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here goes another fun little fact. So, this movie was almost stop motion. And Tim Burton, like, refused to have any CGI. And the studio's like, look, man, you're going to have to, you're going to die on this hill. Your movie's not going to get made. So, Industrial Light and Magic, who they are responsible for, of course, Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park. They actually did a test shot of a bunch of aliens trying to flip over like a Volkswagen for whatever reason. And Tim Burton thought they were creepy enough. And he's like, ooh, if they're going to look like that, then I'm cool. So, yeah, anyway, that's kind of what happened there. He thought they were just creepy enough and just, you know, dark enough that Petty's like, screw it, keep them in. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Let's see. So that's all kind of the fun facts I have. So I'm giving it so it got in the mid-low 50s. I'm giving it 85 dead on the money. Plot synopsis is Mars attacks. And the opening credit scene is fantastic. It's almost worth rewatching this movie just for the opening credit scene. The music is so fucking good in it, and seeing all the planets like organized and everything, or planets, sorry, the saucers organized and everything, and the way it's shot, it just looks so great. It looks like a music video itself. Movie, of course, begins with the flaming cows that I mentioned before. And I don't even know, like the Mr. Jonathan Gems was like all adamant about having that part in. So yeah, it opens with it, which is pretty cool. And then of course, you know what happens, but you know, we get pictures that they're coming towards us, and the president is going to meet with them, but instead he says his liaison, who's a general. Now, the funny thing is there's 2 4-star generals here always barking, and, well, one of them isn't. One of them's always barking in the president's ear, like, we must attack, da-da-da, this and that. They're surrounding us, this. We're like, don't be a wuss, you know. And then the other one is just, like, quiet, and he's, like, the Colin Powell kind of guy, and he's just, like, the yes man. The funny thing about it, though, is that out of everybody. Everyone's so optimistic that these guys are going to be peaceful when they're not. And then the press secretary is all optimistic, and as is Pierce Brosnan's character, who is like his science advisor or professor or whatever. Anyway, so as they're making their way here, of course, the media is going a little crazy. They're doing interviews with everybody. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Finally, when the Martians do, and now also too, we get like one of their broadcasts, and then we code it to our language, which is hilarious because it's like the grim harvest of the plow is that. It's just like a bunch of like word salad nonsense. It's fucking hilarious. Later on, of course, they know how to use the translator, so they'll like, don't run, we're friends, and while they're like shooting us and such, it's great. They land, and then all these hippies are really happy, and the greatest scene is they came in peace, and I played it in the beginning of the intro. You see the fucking dove flower. Well, it turns out these guys have an aversion to birds. There's a few times where birds like will distract them or foil their plans in a way. Well, one is these hippies throwing out the bird. Oh, easy. Another is the presidential seal has the eagle on it, of course, and I didn't notice it, but when it pops up on in their ship, they're watching our television, and then it says the presidential seal, and they go, whoa, and like they all jump. I didn't notice that until recently when I rewatched it. I guess I didn't put it together. I don't know why. And of course, they have a bird inside the White House that actually saves Jack Nicholson's life. I should actually be more specific, seeing how Nicholson's in here twice. The president's life. Jack Nicholson dies twice in this movie, by the way, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like, remember like when Mankind in 1998 entered in the Royal Rumble 3 times? It's kind of like that, except for this is only twice. I swear that I thought he was in this 3 times. I thought he was another character, but it's not him. I swear to you, this is like the Mandela effect. I thought he was also the translator, but apparently not. Because I watching it today, I'm like, well, that's clearly not him. I don't know why I thought it was him. I don't know why, because for whatever reason, I put it in my memory that he was in this movie 3 times, but he's only in it twice. So, anyway, so of course they start attacking, and then they apologize, and they want to meet with Congress, and then they kill Congress, or one of the branches rather, the legislative, and it's great because they're going to all the dignitaries around the world and being like, oh, we're sorry, come meet with us, and then they end up killing you, right? The press secretary is such an idiot in this too. Like, he's like, shouldn't I be there? The president is saying, shouldn't I be there with Congress? And they're like, yeah, we don't want to have every group of branch of government in the same room at the same time. It just doesn't seem like a good idea. I wonder why they didn't have a good vice president for him, because the vice president is always who? I'm trying to think of who the VP was in ID4. Okay, hold on. The press secretary is in ID4 too. That's Jeff Goldblum's wife, right? Do we not see him? Maybe we don't see him. I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, anyway, this movie is just like a montage of, well, first character establishment, right? Because as Mars is attacking, they're still establishing characters and relationships. We get the main character is kind of like, in a way, I would say, the retired boxer who's trying to get back with Jackie Brown. So there's like there's kind of like 2 subplots, right? Or 2 main plots, right? There's the main plot is kind of like DC versus the aliens, and then the B plot is kind of like what's going down in Vegas with the aliens. So It's pretty cool. And at an hour and 47-minute runtime, they really do a good job where it doesn't feel like it's too much fucking movie. Because this movie could have been way too long. If they would have probably had all 60 characters and stuff like that. I don't like it when movies go over 2 hours. And unless it's like an epic film, like for instance, Tombstone we're doing next week. So that's very important, right? Yeah, but this is not that at all. This is very, very, very good. There's a couple of things that they could have edited out. Like, for instance, Danny DeVito's character actually serves zero purpose in this movie, almost. You could have just wrote him out. Like, I don't know why. I know Tim likes Danny DeVito, but... and I like Danny DeVito, too. Don't get me wrong. Always Sunny is probably my favorite show. But what I am saying, though, is that he really didn't need to be in this movie. He's got, like, 3 scenes in the movie. And they're really pointless. Let's see. Yeah, so anyway, what else? Fucking, yeah, so the boxer. He's a retired boxer, and he's trying to get back with his wife, who is in Washington. So the reason I say they're kind of like the main characters is because he's kind of like the representative of Vegas, and she's kind of like the representative of plot-wise, clearly, of Washington. So they're like the tie that binds the two characters together, or the two plots together. That and the fact that, you know, we're under attack. So the cool thing about this movie is just like all the weird Tim Burton-ness. Like, for instance, when like one of the creepiest scenes is when you have not only does Pierce Brosnan, but Sarah Jessica Parker, they both get kidnapped and like operated on. Well, they like dismantle him and keep him hooked up to things so he can live. Where they actually do a head replacement on her dog. So like her body is got a dog's head, and then she's on a dog's body, which I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, whoa, that is one of the creepiest effects ever. To this day, that part, like where she's a dog head and talking to Pierce Brosnan, who's just a severed head, it is one of the creepiest scenes by far. It's ugh. That and Martin Short trying to be sleazy, that was disgusting, but for different fucking reasons, clearly. Let's see, what else do we got here? Yeah, we got a lot of carnage. There's a lot of death. The death toll is high in this. And the cool thing about it too is they're still like cute little ray guns, but it has like a great Mortal Kombat type effect of when you get hit with the ray gun, it like disintegrates you. And depending on what color of the ray gun hits you, that's kind of like what your ooze is left. So there's like a lot of red and green like skeletons all throughout this movie. It's very cool. It's not like Independence Day where when you see like the laser blast and shit, you're like, whoa, that's like amazing. These are supposed to be cheesy and it works. So I actually like it a lot. This is a better movie than Independence Day, too, by the way. I mean, you probably all knew that, but I'm just going to reinforce, if you're going to see one alien movie from 1996, Mars Attacks is definitely better. More clever, better music. It doesn't have Jeff Goldblum, though, but it does have Jack Nicholson. So, you know, you're still good. You know, Goldblum I like better, but Nicholson probably better actor. I think, because Goldblum always plays himself, but he's fucking so charming that why not? So there you go. Oh shit. Of course, we our ending is they have to have like a foil, right? Well, it's kind of like it happens to be really bad yodeling music in this one. I forgot exactly who is the artist that they use. Actually, I have a Google machine in front of me. I should probably look that shit up, right? Let's see. What artists in Mars whoa, come on now. Mars Attacks exploded brains. Exploded alien brains. All right. Slim Whitman. At the retirement home in the Martians had exploded while they hear a Florence record of Slim Ritten's yodeling an Indian love call. So I like this movie. Of course, this is a ripoff from another movie. Can you take a wild guess of what it is? That's right, Puberty Love. So, and of course, the Return of the Killer Tomatoes and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes music was the downfall of the Tomatoes and the only thing stopping them. So, but now here goes another weird thing about this, though. Howard Stern, being a complete and utter piece of shit that he is, says that he actually had this exact plot line in a bit that he did on the radio like in the 80s or some shit. Which, I don't know if that's true. But I mean, that's just like way too on the nose. And he just says dumb shit anyway, and he's an idiot. And, Team O&A for life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think he's just taking credit for that. I do better radio than he does too, so he can go fuck himself. Every time anyone would be like, oh, fucking Howard Stern, I'm like, Howard Stern's not that funny. I mean, he had good guests. He was a good interviewer, but that's about it. I mean, there's better people out there. Like, I think Jimmy was probably the best interviewer out of all those shock jock guys. Jimmy Norton, that is. He always asks good questions. He just does. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, music is their downfall. The last scenes of this movie are kind of like the cleanup and of course the speech by the kid who works at the donut shop that figures out this whole music thing and goes to the radio station, gets a Medal of Honor. He's like, maybe we should like live in teepees because it's better in a lot of ways. And I don't know why that line is pretty funny. It just stuck with me. I have no idea why. And then he gets Natalie Portman too, the lucky bastard. And he's always wearing an Alien Sex Fiend shirt. I don't know if anyone else noticed that. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that t-shirt. I've seen that t-shirt before, but yeah, it's an Alien Sex Fiend shirt, so there you go. I think Josh the Show Killer had that album. I don't know. I was never a fan. Maybe I will actually listen to them today just to say I've heard of them because I have not listened to them. And here's the other thing. I would play them on here, but I don't want to get pulled from YouTube. YouTube's been pulling me recently. That's why I'm playing the Cemetery Surfers, because they're cool with it. They don't give a shit. So there you go. All right. Well, shit. I think that just about does it. Solo episode of me. Gave you some good facts about the good Mars attacks. Definitely a watch. Go check it out. We will be back next week. Hopefully full house with Tombstone. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that alone because there's just so much. And so, yeah, we're going to be watching that movie early and then we're going to be reviewing it. So can't wait to do that. I don't believe we're going to have a Face the Mirror next week because of the Tombstone thing. However, we might. And then on Wednesday, I'm probably going to do some Midnight Ramen here with Nick. So we'll see what's going on. The artist formerly known as Nick Neo, now Nicky Neo. Going to be talking about some stuff that we're doing, nerdy stuff. So we have our campaign going, our Baldur's 3 campaign, our Get the Yankee campaign. If you haven't checked that out, go listen to the episode came out last week. We're going to be playing this Friday and Saturday, so we'll probably be doing some Midnight Ramen on that. And also, I am going to do the episode on Borderlands. Not the movie, but the game series. Seeing how it's in the news. And I started playing Borderlands 2 recently, and I beat Borderlands 3 pretty recently. and man, it's too so. And I beat one last year, so I've played all 3 within a calendar year. So I'm going to give you my like little review on that. So yeah, that should be. You're going to get 2 midnight ramens and this week, next week. You know what I mean. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for joining me, everybody. And with that, be kind, rewind, and I have to take back some videotapes. Love you, bye.